What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're going to jump in with some brand new exclusive Anthem gameplay. So we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of endgame stuff in the game. Before we get into it though, I have to say a massive thanks to EA for inviting me to a Game Changers event where I was able to play and capture Anthem, and today we're going to take a look at the Temple of Scar Stronghold on hard mode, as well as some new legendary contracts. Perhaps even more exciting though, we'll get a look at an epic Interceptor, a bunch of endgame gear, including some Masterwork and legendary drops inside of this video. We'll talk about how much better endgame gear is versus the stuff that you'll start out with in Anthem, and we've got some other cool stuff to break down in this video guys. So if you enjoyed this one, a rating is very much appreciated below. Let me know your thoughts on Anthem in the comment section, but now let's get into it. So first up, we're looking at some gameplay of the Temple of Scar Stronghold on hard mode. We'll talk more about that in just a moment, but in terms of the Interceptor that I'm playing, I'm actually on an epic Interceptor, so the gear score is around about 400 to 430, and this is on a level 30 player, so this is probably kind of mid-endgame in terms of the character, and of course that means we've got some pretty tasty loot equipped, but when we're clearing some of this content, we get even more pretty awesome drops we'll talk about in a moment. But once again, this is Temple of Scar. We've previously seen this stronghold in one of the live streams, but something pretty cool I wanted to share about the boss section for this stronghold. We've got one of those kind of four-legged tank walker things, Skelos, and the boss has a pretty cool mechanic where it shields using these 3 fans around the room. So there are 3 fans that activate. Whenever they're on, the boss will get a shield. These activate periodically throughout the fight, so you have to kind of jump up, destroy the fans in order to continue with the damage. Nothing too crazy in terms of mechanics, but definitely something a little bit different versus some of the other stronghold stuff that we've seen. But once again, this stronghold is on hard mode, and in terms of how difficult that feels, it felt pretty similar in this build to hard mode content that we see inside of the demo version. However, the first tier of Grandmaster difficulty was noticeably more difficult, so if you are running the harder levels of content, you'll definitely want to gear up for it. And of course, when you increase the difficulty in Anthem, you increase the frequency and the rarity of the drops that you're getting in the game. In fact, in this Stronghold run right here, I actually managed to pick up some pretty tasty drops. So I get a legendary item, as well as a Masterwork and an epic item. And once again, this is on hard mode, and this also isn't for the final clear of the Stronghold, so it gives us a very basic idea of how difficult some of this gear might be to obtain. But in the post-reward screen, when you get a Masterwork or an epic item, you get a pretty cool animation right here. So we can see the Masterwork drop that I got, and that's a cluster mine. We'll actually do a comparison on that one in just a moment, and then you get an even cooler animation if you get a legendary drop. So you can see I get a legendary Tome of Precision right here, which is actually a storm component, even though I'm playing on the Interceptor. And it increases electric damage by 5%, electric effect by 5%, but then sniper rifle weak point kills increase electric damage by 60% for 5 seconds. So that's certainly pretty tasty, and it's also got plus 13% assault rifle ammo, as well as plus 13 electric effect. Of course, in Anthem, we know that loot can drop across all rarities in the game, so to get a brief idea of what that could look like, of course, I did get the Cluster Mine Masterwork version, and I also have an uncommon Cluster Mine right here. Of course, there is a difference of, 3 rarities here? But we can see that on the Masterwork version, the blast damage for the assault system is 2,985 damage, but on an uncommon variant, we've got just 1,700 damage. Obviously, if you had an epic or a purple, you'd be somewhere in between those 2 numbers, but also you'll notice with the Masterwork version, you get a bunch of additional stat bonuses. So the Masterwork version has LMG plus 7% damage, plus 25% damage on heavy pistols, plus 15% drop rate for ammo, and plus 38% sniper ammo. If we compare that to the uncommon variant, we get just 3% damage on marksman rifles. It's a pretty massive difference right there. Of course, you could improve the uncommon variant by getting a purple drop or an epic drop, but this gives us a basic idea of how different rarities of loot improve throughout the game. Also in the background right here, you can see I'm inspecting and equipping a bunch of epic and higher gear. And you can obtain this level of quality of gear and higher from contracts, legendary contracts, strongholds, and free roam. As I mentioned before, one of the big dictators of the quality of loot drops is going to be the difficulty that you've set the content you're running at, as well as your initial javelin level and gear score as you go in. So guys, just a quick look at some of the more difficult content in Anthem, as well as some of the rewards we can expect to see there. Of course, we've got the open demo this weekend. Absolutely, I recommend that you guys jump into that and check it out. Be sure to come back and let me know your thoughts on Anthem, whether you've played it already, or whether you're going to jump in this weekend. But I'm going to run some gameplay right here of the Disaster Protocol legendary contract, so you can check out some more full gameplay if you want to. I feel like my gameplay itself right here is a bit more iffy than some of my more recent video stuff because this was coming from my first play session with Anthem and not the stuff that I've posted more recently. Nonetheless, you can check it out if you want to, but if you've enjoyed the video guys, a rating is very much appreciated. If you want to keep up to date with everything related to Anthem, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But for now, whatever you guys get up to, I appreciate you tuning in and I'll catch you very soon.
Look, one of the leaders. You're making them very angry to attract that thing's attention. You fought very well. I'm impressed. fine work. Interesting. I have something else for you not too far away. A colleague of mine hasn't reported in for some time. I'll need you to find out what's happening.
I'll check it out.
They've locked themselves in the animal cage for protection. We'll need to clear the area first. Clear out the danger, and we'll see about getting them out. It's a Titan.
Finished fighting. Area clear.
Hope you aren't too battered and bruised. Very well done.
Freelancer.
Finished. Excellent work. You've got something big, an energy signature that is powerful and quite terrifying. You better see what's happening.
I'll get over there. You need to disrupt the process before the Titan wakes. Destroy those machines. On it.
You're getting this done very quickly. You're getting close, just a little more. You did it. The machines are destroyed. That should stop all of this.
Where do you keep coming from?
Stay on it.
coming. We're out of combat.
It is very exciting working with someone who loves to get their hands dirty.